and we have DS Engage update, an active DS Active update, any government and vaccine information, a little bit about what's been happening with information and training, and in our comms department, and then Workfit and employment update, and then our voice today, and 2 nice films to show. So over to you, Sharon.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Nice to be able to talk to you about DS Engage again. And as always, just a quick recap, because some people are still finding out about DS Engage very recently or joining in for their first time, which is great. And we have a really nice, loyal group of regular followers and participants, which is even better, actually. So we're loving seeing people at all of the sessions. But just if you haven't caught up with it yet, to remind you, DS Engage is our program that keeps everybody busy and healthy and active. And the best bit about it is you do it with a whole bunch of other people doing the same thing. So you get to know other people, you make friends, and you feel like you're enjoying doing things together. It's now a completely blended program, meaning that some things are pre-recorded. There's loads of films now on our YouTube channel, activities that you can do anytime. They go live at 6 p.m. in the evening, but you can pick them up and look at them and follow them any other time you want to. And there's literally everything there: dance, yoga, Makaton, lots of cooking, which is lovely, and workouts and fitness challenges. So you never need to feel bored. Just go there, give up your Netflix, go to our YouTube channel, you'll find something interesting there. And then as well as that, we have a whole weekly program of live events, which are even better. So those are on Zoom calls. You join in, you see everybody else, you get a chance to say hi and talk to people a little bit, and then join in and do something together. And again, those are workouts. We have a disco every week. We have a dance session, and they're always good fun. You will never be disappointed if you give it a try and join in. So let's go to the next slide. What we always love to see is what people have been joining in or doing or enjoying. So this is Connor. Connor sent in this film of him doing yoga alongside a yoga teacher, which is really great. So that's on our YouTube channel. If you like yoga, or even if you don't and you want to give it a try, you can watch the film, see how Connor gets on, and see what you can do as well. See if you enjoy it. So thank you, Connor, for that. That was great. And then I've just picked out a couple of highlights from this week. So this week, our dance session is always on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Just a little picture of the beginning. The beginning bit of the session is my favorite. So they always do a warm up to Gangnam Style music. And even if you see at 9 a.m. people looking half asleep, as soon as this music starts and people start standing up and warming up, everyone is smiling within 2 minutes. And then you continue the rest of the session doing lots of other moves and really having fun together. So give that one a try on Thursday morning. And also the next slide shows us one of my other favorite sessions of the week. This is Mr. Motivator. Now, honestly, Mr. Motivator, he does workouts, but it's like a comedy show and a workout all rolled into one, because he literally talks all the way through it. He's very cheeky, makes lots of cheeky comments about lots of the participants. There's more than 100 people on the call. He seems to be able to talk to loads of people of the 100. So it's really funny. And because it's so funny, you do all the moves and work out without like feeling like you're doing lots and lots of exercises. And if you look, I hope you can see this picture. If you look on it, what I also love is it's really for all the family. So you can see some of the people here. There's the people with Down syndrome are there, as well as their parents or siblings or other family members. So you won't be lonely doing it. You can do it with your family and then all the other 100+ people on the screen. And it feels like a great evening out by the time you get to the end of it. So that's on a Wednesday evening, Mr. Motivator. And then I know what everyone wants to know is what should we do this weekend? So I thought I'd just highlight this. I'm not sure so many people have seen this. This is another film on our YouTube channel. It's Singing and Signing. to Bob Marley's song, Three Little Birds. And it is just so good. Once you do it once, that song will be in your head, the signs will be in your head, and it will cheer you up, whatever else is going on around you. So give that a go this weekend from our YouTube channel and let us know how you get on. We'd love to hear that. And the final slide is just to remind you about our weekly timetable. So just so you don't miss anything. So there's Monday, we have a workout. This Tuesday, in a few days' time, is our daytime disco. Wednesday is Mr. Motivator. Thursday is dance. And Friday, this afternoon, is Pilates, which you can still join in with if you want to this very afternoon. So all of those things are on our website. You can sign up for all or any of the events. They're all free, and we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. We've had some comments coming in about how good the activities are and how engaging Mr. Motivator is.
Yes.
Now to Alex, please.
Thank you, Jill. So I just wanted two slides for me today. The first one was to talk about the Health Swap app for those who maybe haven't heard of it before. It's just had an update, so it is rebooted and ready to go. The app was created by the DS Active team back in 2019, thanks to a grant from the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport. The app is designed by people with Down syndrome for people with Down syndrome. So it uses a completely new interface that's never been used before. It's been designed by a cohort of participants with Down syndrome who helped us design it. They told us what they needed in terms of things like the size of the tiles, the size of the text, the usability of the app. And we took it to an app development company, and there it is. It exists. So it's a really good app for everyone to enjoy. It will help you to make positive changes to your lifestyle. So through diet and exercise. So as we come out of winter lockdown, a lot of us are trying to improve our activity levels or improve our nutrition. This is a great way to get started, and it's very motivating. You get lots of rewards and you get points for engaging in certain activities and for trying new recipes. So it's all on the app. It's free to download. You can get it from the Apple App Store or on Google Apps just by searching for Health Swap. Thank you, Jill. And then the other one for me is just a bit of an update on the targets for the DS Active sessions. So by the end of May, we aim to have 34 sessions restarted with over 500 people with Down syndrome playing sport every week. So we'll be able to see lots more happy faces like the ones you can see in the pictures that I've put there as well. We do offer a range of activities. So there are football sessions, tennis, athletics, there's some cricket coming, there's some sailing coming as well, and there's a couple of running groups that are just about getting started as well. So lots of things for people to enjoy and get involved with. The best way to find them is to go to our website, which is on the screen there. And we have a tab called Activities Near You, where you can zoom in on where you are on a Google map, and you can see all the activities that are around you. If you want to find out more about those activities, just drop us an email, and we'll be happy to give you all of those details as well. And same bullet point as every week. If you do not feel comfortable attending the session yet, then there's absolutely no pressure to. We've all been in lockdown a long time. We all need to build up our confidence to go back and try these social activities again. So there is no pressure to do it. Speak to the coach, find out about how you can return safely and gradually at your own pace, and they'll be happy to help. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Alex. Now to Julian.
Morning, everybody. As we've said at a number of these weekly updates, we have regular engagement with the Department of Health and Social Care, who are overseeing the policy initiatives and updates relating to guidance to various settings as we come out of lockdown. And one of the things that we are aware of, and it's something that we will be raising, we have a meeting next Wednesday with the department, is the issue of guidance to supported living settings. So there was updated guidance issued a couple of weeks ago, which did seem to be very restrictive. And this was particularly around individuals perhaps coming out of their supported living setting, either to go and visit family at home or perhaps, have a meal with their family who would be within their support bubble. So this would still be maintaining, COVID safe meetings. And now that we're hearing more and more individuals who have had their second vaccine, it does seem that, we need to get that balance between keeping people safe and making sure that people aren't living under unnecessary restrictions. So we will be raising that, and as soon as we have any additional news to share, we will bring that to these updates and also update our website. And just to say really that our helpline had a huge upswing in calls really at the beginning of the pandemic. So over a year ago now, we had about a 50% increase in the numbers of contacts that we were having from families, which we were very pleased to work hard to respond to those. And I think my colleague Stuart now is just going to give you a little bit of a flavour of some of the themes of the calls that we've been having recently.
Thank you, Julian. I mean, there was just, I guess, one observation in terms of helpline calls that I'd sort of picked up on. And I think this is something that we all need to be really aware of and vigilant about. And I mean, 20 or so years ago when I first started in the job, the medical model of disability was quite prevalent in terms of how people with disabilities were viewed. And by this, I mean that people were sometimes defined by their condition and associated medical issues rather than sort of rounded individual people. And I think one thing I've noticed on our helpline, and I think it comes out of the experience of COVID and adults being added to the clinically extremely vulnerable list, is that there has been a little bit of a resurgence, I feel, in this attitude of people being viewed by their condition rather than as individual people. So I thought I'd just like to point it out so that people are vigilant, and you'll realise by the end of this presentation that really the range of what we do as the DSA is actually continually trying to address that balance and to stop that view of individuals gaining ascendancy. And the second point I think I really wanted to make, and of course you all will do for the people you love and care for, is I guess just to keep a watchful eye on people, because we've all been through a very difficult time in the last year, and adults with Down syndrome and indeed children have had their lives changed and restricted in diverse ways. And I would say just keep an eye on the people you love and support in terms of their well-being, and whether you might be seeing any changes perhaps in their mental health. And sometimes these changes might be quite subtle in terms of people's sort of routines and behaviour. And I guess we would urge people to, if you're noticing any changes, have a think about those and what they might mean, and seek guidance sooner rather than perhaps sort of further down the line. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Stuart and Julian. As usual, we've had quite a range of different online events and training sessions this week, including secondary education, pregnancy and baby online group, a sharing positive practice, and a Workfit event for people and employees yesterday. We had a different kind of Tell It Right event, which wasn't our usual sessions for maternity practitioners. It was for everybody, for them and everybody else, to find out about Tell It Right. And we had a guest presenter, Alison Rogerson, who is the mother of the actor who plays a character in Emmerdale, and it was very good, and we will be providing that as a YouTube film, a video at some point. We just wanted to share with you one of the excerpts that we used, which was from a midwife given for that event. Oh, where's the arrow gone? Okay.
Hello, my name's Jess. I'm a clinical midwife. I'm also happen to be a midwifery lecturer, but I just wanted to say a few words about the Tell It Right teaching. I was very fortunate enough to have this training a few years ago. I found it completely open, non-threatening. It was clear in the delivery. And it was really refreshing to be able to discuss challenges from a professional's point of view relating to this. We always do our best. We strive to do our best by families and the people that we care for. But it was absolutely imperative to hear from some of those families who had experienced this themselves, what they found helpful, what they found difficult, lots of different considerations that even as a midwife of 25 years, I perhaps hadn't thought about, or maybe went into this with what I hope weren't preconceived ideas, but actually on reflection, they may well have been. So to have this training and the importance of consistent and honest communication and presenting a realistic and balanced view without any prejudices was so important, and I would highly recommend the training to any health professional, and especially for midwives and student midwives. I completely endorse this training. I use it on my own module for qualified midwives, and I absolutely wouldn't hesitate to recommend it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And some of the events that are coming up in the next month or so, and a reminder about our helpline and all the many different functions that has, including, a network of specialists and referrals to the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group of UK and Ireland. And now to Kate.
Hiya. Can everybody hear me? Excellent. So I'm new to these meetings. I'm the comms manager at the DSA, and I just wanted to, well, firstly say thank you to Sam, who was on last week's session talking about his involvement with Our Voice, but then did a brilliant film with Robin talking about meeting the Duke of Edinburgh for us, which was really, really great, particularly as it was done that very day. We're always interested to hear your stories, and I guess that's the theme of my 2 slides today. Our 50th anniversary celebrations didn't go according to plan last year, of course, but they are ongoing. And the Memories and Stories project is a big part of those celebrations. We've been sharing and the stories of people who have Down syndrome who are over 50 throughout last year, but we're still looking for more people to get involved in that project. So if you know anyone who's over 50, or you are someone who's over 50 and you'd like to tell your story, do please get in touch with us. The URL on the bottom there will take you to a page where you can look at the stories that we've shared so far, and including that of Anya, who's in the picture there, who we shared just yesterday. Could I have the next slide, please, Jill? So we're also interested in stories from new mums and dads. This is for content on our website, and we'll share on social media. It's, we love having stories from everybody, but we're particularly interested at the moment for stories from new mums and dads. And we want to hear your tales, and obviously the pictures of or babies are always a plus. We've got a lovely selection on that slide, and again the link at the bottom of the slide will take you to some more information about kind of what we're looking for and how we do it, and our email address is on there as well. And yeah, but if you've got a story for the journal or the website, anything, we're always really happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And now Alison.
Hi everyone, just a quick update from me about what's happening with Workfit. Can I have the next slide, Jill? Okay, so I'm pleased to say that we've got quite a few people returning to their jobs now, which is great news. They are, of course, taking on board the new ways of working at work, the PPE and the social distancing and all of those things. And I'm also pleased to let you know that we have some new jobs starting this month, next month, and in June. So, of course, that depends on everything going well with COVID numbers, but we're delighted about that. The team are working currently 3 days a week, but from the 4th of May, they will be back full time because we are so busy with lots of opportunities happening. And I'm basically always available. If anybody can't get hold of an employment development officer, feel free to contact me. We have got a toolkit on the Workfit website, which is all about returning to work in terms of thinking about COVID. There are lots of questions that you can talk about with your family and friends around how you might travel to work, what you might have to do differently at work. So just some things to consider if you are at the point of thinking that you do want to return to work. So hopefully that will be helpful. Next slide, please, Jill. So we had a lovely session yesterday where we talked about different sectors reopening, and I'm sure we've all been following the news around what we can do and what we can't do. Personally, I can't wait for my hairdresser appointment in a couple of weeks' time. So we know things like outdoor sports are now open. We know that outdoor hospitality is open. We can see people sitting outside pubs and restaurants and cafes now. So we're hoping that by the 17th of May, if things do go well, that pubs, restaurants and hotels will be fully open. And of course, a lot of people who are employed via Workfit are in those sectors. So people are quite excited about the prospect of getting back to work. And then all being well, towards the end of June, if everything is on track, pretty much everything should be open by that point. So we're optimistic about people getting back to work fairly soon, if they feel ready to do so, of course. And you can always come and talk to us if you have any worries or concerns about returning to work. That's why we're here. Next slide, please, Jill. I just wanted to mention that we've done a lot of media in the last few weeks. Bethany, Luke, Alex and Tim have all been doing podcasts and radio interviews. And we tend to tweet the links about this. Our Twitter account is @DSWorkfit if you want to follow us on there. So if you want to listen to any of these interviews or podcasts, feel free to do so. They're all very uplifting, very interesting. So I just wanted to let you know that they are out there on social media. And next one, Jill. So we've got another online event. We're finding that people are enjoying these, and what happens at the online event is we have guest speakers. So yesterday we had 4 guest speakers who are people who have Down syndrome and their employers, and 3 of the 4 of those people have already gone back to work. So we were really interested to hear what they thought about getting back to work and how they felt about that. So that was really useful. So we've got another session on the 3rd of June, and we'll be listing that on the DSA website main events and activities page, and the link is on the slide there. So if anybody wants to be a guest speaker at that event on the 3rd of June, please do get in touch with us and let us know, and we'd be happy for you to share your story. Next slide, please, Jill. Oh, I think that's me done. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, Alison. And now Robin.
Hello, good morning. Good to be here again on Friday. Just a quick update on what the Our Voice team have been up to this week. So last week I introduced that we are going through a 4-week process, talking about what the DSA does, working together, speaking up for yourself and self-advocacy, and then planning some work together, which is going to go background and influence what the DSA does. And this is a process that will go around several times. So this week we had a really good session just talking about what the DSA does, and all of the members talking about the different ways that they've used the DSA or have helped the DSA. So if we go to the next slide, please, Jill. So we looked at these 8 main areas We talked about the helpline, the training that DSA offer, how people are included, information, campaigns, Workfit, DS Active, and advocacy. And we've got a few quotes from the session on the next slide. So we talked about we organise events and do different kinds of projects. I think the DSA has helped me in lots of different ways. I've become more involved with the Our Voice group, and it's helped me as we've asked medical questions and they've come back with really good advice. It's fantastic, and I want to be involved with DSA and get lots of fun things done and to make videos with them. We also had a few kind of questions and bits of advice. So one of our members, Elsa, asked if we speak to young children and asked how they could be involved more, and was quite firm with us that she thinks that we should be talking to more young people and raising their voice as well. So we can take action on that. We had a couple of nice quotes about Workfit. Workfit has helped me because I've just applied for the help to get another job, and we've just done the CV and sent that to them. And also Workfit helped me with my job. I work at a garden centre and restaurant, and I've been there for 10 years now. And that was Lornie talking about her job. I know she's very proud of her job and enjoyed working with Workfit. And the final quote is, I think it helps people with Down syndrome to have fun. It's good that people are in and having fun. So that's just a few things that we spoke about. Go to the next slide, please, Jill. We then asked this question: why do you think DSA organised Our Voice? And we've got, I think, because DSA is wanting to involve everybody, and because you don't have to have different groups, to show that we are being fair and nice to people, and it lets people have their say, and it's good to talk about different topics. That was nice. So we've started the Our Voice section of the new website, and we will be testing that with some of the team members, but for now they have been contributing in the form of photos, which we are going to use. So these are just a few of the photos that we've got. We all had a list of words. I haven't put any of my photos on there because they're a bit embarrassing, but these are all very good. And then if we go to the next slide, please, Jill. We are now going to watch an interview, which was done by Our Voice team member, Alex, and she interviewed Kimmy, who's one of the guest people at a DSA Engage disco event, and Kimmy led a beatboxing session, and Alex really enjoyed the beatboxing session, so we thought it'd be good if she could talk to Kimmy about that. So if we play that.
I'm a super fan of yours because I like beatboxing. It is fun. What do you like about beatboxing?
So I love to hear that you like beatboxing. I love beatboxing because anyone can do it. So it doesn't matter if you're a guy, a girl, or how able you are, like anyone can beatbox because we've all got a voice. And I think that is so, so cool. And also, if you don't speak the same language as someone, then you can communicate through beatboxing, which I think is pretty sick.
Nice. Question number 2. How long have you done it for?
So I started beatboxing about 10 years ago because I heard my brother do it. And he used to beat me at everything. So I was like, right, I'm going to beat him at something. So that's how it started, as a bit of healthy competition. I didn't really think I'd get very far with it. It was just more of a party trick kind of thing. And then I started, just get like doing it every day and just fell in love with it, and I haven't stopped.
Cool. I see you do busking. Can you tell us about that? Where do you go busking?
Yeah, so busking is kind of what's opened all the doors for me. And it is the funnest thing ever because you get to connect with people that you might not necessarily usually connect with out on the streets. My favourite spots to do it are Manchester, Liverpool, and London. I mean, I haven't tried many other places, but they're definitely my favourite spots. And I usually do a Sunday on Brick Lane in London in Shoreditch.
Nice.
Because they have like a food market on and it's super busy with loads of people and it's just really good energy and vibes. So yeah, I love busking.
You're the only female in the beatbox jams. Can you tell us a bit about this?
Yeah, I don't know why more females don't enter, or why more females don't beatbox, or non-binary people. I mean, it was really fun for me, and I felt really welcomed by all the guys. But I would definitely love to see more females entering, because yeah, I think we've had maybe a few over the years, but I was the first person or first female to get as far as I did in over 10 years. So I felt like that was a cool achievement.
I watched your video, a Sunday series with Gimme Beatbox. What do you mean by eating all the cake? And what cake do you eat?
I love cake. So cake is my favourite food. So that's why I go on about it quite a lot. My favourite cake. Oh, this is a hard question. I'm going to say it's between chocolate and raspberry or lemon cake, but I will honestly eat any cake.
Nice.
Have you got a favourite cake?
Chocolate cake.
Yeah, good shout. Nice choice.
I saw you by the basketball net. Do you play any sports?
So I don't play basketball, but I do play sports. I grew up playing tennis because my dad's a tennis coach. So I played tennis since I could walk. And I love all sports. So especially when summer comes around, I just like going to the park and playing a bit of football or rounders with my mates.
Nice.
But I don't think I'm competitive enough to take it up full time. But yeah, I'll give any sport a go.
What advice would you give people who want to start beatboxing?
I would just tell them to go for it. Don't be scared and just, have fun with it. I think with beatboxing, some people can, because we're making really weird sounds with our mouths, we can feel a bit silly sometimes. But there's just no pressure. Don't take yourself too seriously. And most of all, have fun.
Nice.
It's so sick.
Thank you very much, Alex, for such a splendid interview, and Kimmy being interviewed. So, right, thank you, Robin. Did you want to say anything else, Robin?
No, I was just going to say thank you to Alex if she is here. I'm not sure if she is though.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Well, thank you very much indeed. We'll have another update next week, and we may have a few questions to answer. I don't know if Julian or Carol.
Yeah, I know there was one of the questions related to vaccine access for children, and the parent, I assume, who posted the question, highlighted that there are a very small number of children who have Down syndrome who have been added to the clinically extremely vulnerable list. So generally that isn't the case. The majority of children who had been on the list were removed back in the summer, and shielding advice paused in April anyway, so nobody generally is being advised to shield unless you've got a very particular set of additional medical issues. And in those cases, the vaccination for a child under the age of 16 is possible. So a clinician that looks after the young person would be able to, if they consider it to be appropriate, recommend a vaccine and should be able to organise that. So it would be to go back to the person that looks after your son or daughter's health and ask whether a vaccine is appropriate. And if so, then that is possible under the current guidance. And I think the person who made the point has said that they won't give it under 12. I mean, it is an individual assessment by a clinician that would know your child's health. So if they're not recommending it, then it may be for, I mean, obviously it would be difficult to know the individual circumstances of that. But we do know of children of various ages who have been able to access a vaccine, but obviously it would depend on the particular issues that your child is experiencing. So other than saying to go back and ask for further clarification, I'm not entirely sure what additional guidance we might be able to give.
Thank you, Julian. There's also a question about travelling with a PA in a car to an activity.
So a couple of things to say on that. Firstly, the PA should hopefully have had their vaccine because they are eligible for priority access, and we think that that would reduce the likelihood of them transmitting the virus. They should wear, so if you're in a car, so it is possible, if you're in a vehicle, you would be advised to wear a face covering. If the individual sat in the back of the car and the driver obviously was in the front, and keep the windows open to keep it well ventilated. And PAs are eligible for twice weekly COVID testing. So the other advice would be to make sure that the person employed is accessing regular testing, even if they're asymptomatic. And obviously if somebody has got any symptoms of COVID, then they shouldn't be working.
Thank you. Thank you for your message, Alex, a different Alex, popular name, about looking forward to your haircut and also joining in with one of the sessions on Monday. That's good to hear. Now I'd like to pass over to Carol to conclude this session.
Thank you, Jill. Yeah, I'd just like to say a personal thank you to everybody that's attended all of our updates. I know we've got some regulars who come every week. And I hope that you are continuing to find this personal interaction with our team really helpful, and that it's given you a greater insight into the range of work that we do and the guys that we have in our team. We're going to continue with the sessions and hopefully bring you lots more interesting stuff that you will find helpful. And just watch this space for the weeks to come. We'll keep it going as long as people keep coming. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you next time.